Subscribe to Panda Tunes for heartwarming bedtime stories. Join us for tales of kindness.
Olivia's Whispering Garden Adventure. Olivia loved her grandma's garden. It wasn't a neat and tidy garden with straight rows. It was a wonderful, wild jumble of colors and smells, where secret paths twisted between tall, nodding flowers. One sunny afternoon, while watching a fluffy bumblebee dance on a clover, Olivia heard something new. A soft sound, like leaves rustling in a tiny breeze. Swish, whisper, shh. "Hello?" she called softly. The only answer was the buzzing of the bee. But then she heard it again, fainter this time, coming from behind the giant, sunny-faced sunflowers that stood like tall soldiers. She tiptoed down a path she'd never noticed before, pushing aside big, velvety leaves. There, in a quiet, mossy corner, was a single flower unlike any other. Its petals shimmered with all the colors of a soap bubble. Olivia leaned closer, her nose almost touching the petals. The whispering was coming from the shimmering flower. It was so quiet, she had to hold her breath to hear its tiny voice. "The little seeds are sleepy," the flower whispered. Its voice sounded like tiny wind chimes. "If you sing them a gentle song, they will have happy dreams and wake up ready to grow." Olivia gasped. A talking flower! Her eyes darted to the little paper packets of seeds sitting by her grandma's watering can. A wonderful idea popped into her head. She carefully picked up a packet of carrot seeds and began to sing a soft, happy lullaby. She sang about warm sunshine, gentle rain, and growing big and strong under the cozy blanket of soil. Next, she tiptoed over to the shy rosebuds that were curled up tight. "Don't be afraid to open up," she whispered to them, just like Will-O-Wisp had whispered to her. "The world is waiting to see your beautiful colors." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over everything, the whole garden seemed to hum with a happy energy. Olivia smiled. She had a new friend and a very important secret. She was the garden's whisperer. In a cozy lavender room, where the soft lamp glowed warm and bright, there lived a little girl named Olivia. She snuggled under her fluffy blanket, her favorite stuffed unicorn by her side, ready to drift into dreamland. As the stars twinkled outside her window, Olivia whispered goodnights to all the wonders around her. "Good night, twinkling stars," she said with a yawn. "You light up the sky and guide my wishes so far." "Good night, fluffy clouds," she murmured next. "You dance in the blue and bring rain for the flowers' rest." "Good night, my brave unicorn." Olivia smiled, hugging it tight. "You chase away fears and make everything right. Good night. Colorful books on the shelf so high," she continued. "Your stories of adventure make my imagination fly. Good night, gentle teddy bear, sitting in your chair," she whispered softly. "You listen to my secrets without a single care." "Good night, shiny mirror that shows my happy face," Olivia added. "You remind me I'm special in my own special place." "Good night, ticking clock with your steady beat," she said. "You count the hours until morning's sweet treat." "Good night. Warm pajamas, cozy and new," she giggled. "You keep me snug through the night. It's true." "Good night. Blooming flowers in the vase by the bed." Olivia sighed. "Your petals so pretty in pink, yellow and red. Good night, wise old owl perched on the sill," she called out. "You watch over dreams with your quiet skill. Good night, whispering wind through the window, so slight," she breathed. "You carry my thoughts into the peaceful night." And finally, as her eyes grew heavy and her heart felt light, Olivia whispered, "Good night, dear world. until morning's first light. In that cozy lavender room, with gratitude in her soul, Olivia fell asleep, knowing tomorrow would make her whole. For every good night was a promise of thanks, for friends, for fun, and for all that life brings.
Olivia and the Glimmer Sprite. Deep in a quiet village lived a little girl named Olivia. She had a kind heart and a bright red cloak her grandmother had made just for her. Olivia loved to explore the woods behind her house, where the air smelled of magic and adventure. One sunny afternoon, Olivia decided to go on a special adventure. She pulled her red hood up and stepped into the forest. The trees whispered secrets to each other, and the leaves crunched softly under her boots. As she walked, she heard a tiny, sad sound. Tinkle, tinkle. It sounded like a lost bell. Olivia followed the sound, her heart filled with curiosity. She peeked behind a big, mossy rock. There, she saw a tiny creature, no bigger than her hand. It was a Glimmer Sprite, made of leaves and light, but its light was very dim. It looked so sad, sitting on a mushroom. The Glimmer Sprite whispered, "I've lost my sparkle. I can't find it anywhere." Olivia felt a little sad for the sprite. "Don't worry," she said with a gentle smile. "We'll find it together." They searched high and low. They looked under a big, twisty root. "Is it here?" Olivia asked. The Glimmer Sprite shook its head. "No, not here." They looked inside a hollow log. "Is it here?" Olivia asked. The Glimmer Sprite shook its head again. "No, not here." They looked behind a waterfall of ferns. "Is it here?" Olivia asked one last time. The Glimmer Sprite sighed, its light growing even dimmer. "No, not here." Olivia gave the Glimmer Sprite a gentle hug. "Maybe your sparkle isn't lost at all," she said. "Maybe it's inside you, waiting for a little bit of kindness to shine." And just like that, the Glimmer Sprite's light began to glow, brighter and brighter, until it filled the whole forest with a warm, happy sparkle. The Glimmer Sprite giggled with joy. "You found it," it said. "You helped me find my sparkle." Sophia and the Whispering Woods. Once upon a time, in a cottage nestled at the edge of a great green forest, lived a little girl named Sophia. She had hair the color of sunshine and eyes as blue as the summer sky. Sophia loved to explore, but her mother had one rule: never go into the Whispering Woods alone. One sunny afternoon, a beautiful butterfly with wings like stained glass fluttered past Sophia's window and flew straight into the woods. "Oh, I must see it up close," Sophia whispered, and forgetting her mother's warning, she tiptoed into the trees. The woods were not scary at all. Sunlight dappled through the leaves, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of pine. But soon, the butterfly disappeared, and Sophia realized she was lost. A tiny tear rolled down her cheek. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling. Suddenly, a soft, tinkling sound filled the air. A tiny, glowing creature, no bigger than her hand, zipped in front of her. "Why are you crying, little one?" it chirped. "I am a Whisper Sprite, and this is my home." "I'm lost," Sophia sniffled. The Whisper Sprite patted her teary cheek with a tiny, glowing hand. "Don't you worry," it said. "But to find your way out, you must first help someone else." The Whisper Sprite led Sophia deeper into the woods until they came to a grumpy-looking bear who was rubbing his tummy and groaning. "What's wrong with him?" Sophia whispered. "He has a tummy ache from eating too many sour berries," the sprite explained. Sophia remembered the sweet strawberries she had in her pocket. "Maybe these will help," she said, holding one out to the bear. The bear sniffed it, then gobbled it up. His grumpy face softened into a smile. The Grumble Bear felt so much better that he gave Sophia a big, gentle hug. "Thank you, little friend," he rumbled. The Whisper Sprite clapped its tiny hands. "You see, Sophia, a little kindness can make a big difference." Now that she had helped the bear, the Whisper Sprite showed Sophia a secret path made of sparkling stones. It twisted and turned, and in no time at all, Sophia could see her little cottage through the trees. Sophia ran out of the woods and into her mother's arms. She promised never to go into the woods alone again, but she knew she would never forget the friends she made and the lessons she learned. Even when you feel lost, a kind heart will always find its way home. Amelia's Starry Stitch. Do you remember my little Amelia? You were the captain of your cozy sheet ship, sailing the seas of sleepiness. Your mission was to dream of distant stars and planets no one had ever seen before. But then, through your spaceship's porthole, that's your window, silly, a little light appeared and disappeared. It wasn't a planet or a passing jet. It was a tiny, flickering star, and my brave explorer, you could tell it looked very sad. A silver thread of starlight, so thin and bright, zoomed right through your window. It landed gently on your patchwork quilt, creating a glowing pathway just for you, my darling. You didn't wait a single second, did you, my adventurous girl? You knew an adventure was calling. You hopped right onto that pathway, and with a great whoosh, your pajamas transformed into the most beautiful, shimmering spacesuit. Up you floated, right out the window to explore the big night sky. You zipped past the sleepy rooftops and the tall, whispering trees. You were a brand new astronaut, my love, riding the starlight breeze. You followed the thread to the little star in distress. It flickered so sadly, a real proper mess. I've got a boo-boo, it sputtered, its voice like tiny bells. I took a big tumble and cracked my light. And what did you do, my kind Amelia? You patted the star's pointy arm and said, "Don't you worry, I'll keep you from harm. Mommy fixed my teddy bear's seam with a stitch. We just need some moonlight to fix this little glitch." You spotted a moonbeam, all silvery white, and you lassoed it right out of the night. You rolled it and stretched it, a clever cosmic trick, and turned it into a needle and thread, so quick. You stitched up the crack with a perfect loop-de-la-loop, a sparkly, star-mending scoop. The star's light burst out in a happy, warm flash. "Hooray!" it buzzed with a thankful dash. The little star gave you a wink, a special thank you, and the light path zipped you right back to your room. You were tucked in your bed, my sweet girl, dreaming deep and so sound, with a new starry friend, the best one you've ever found. Evelyn and the Grumpy Moon. Do you remember last night, my little Evelyn? When you closed your eyes, your bed turned into a fluffy cloud boat. You were the captain, and your teddy bear was your first mate, ready to sail the dreamy, deep blue sea. Your cloud boat floated right out the window, up into the velvety night. You sailed past twinkling stars that winked at you like tiny, friendly fireflies, my brave little captain. But then you saw him. The big moon in the sky looked so very sad. He wasn't shining his happy silver light. He was gray and gloomy, with a great big frown on his face. "What's wrong, Mr. Moon?" you asked in your little dream voice. The moon sighed a cloudy sigh. "I've lost my glow," he grumbled. "Those naughty comets took my moonbeams to play tag, and now I can't shine." You weren't worried at all, were you, my clever girl? You patted your teddy bear's head and said, "Don't you worry, Mr. Moon, I have an idea." You reached into the pocket of your pajamas and pulled out a surprise. It was your dream paintbrush, and next to your teddy bear was your special pot of starlight paint, swirling with all the light of 1,000 sleepy stars. You dipped your brush right in. With a giggle, you reached up high and began to paint the moon. Swish, swoosh, splash. You painted him with strokes of silvery, shimmering light, making him sparkle and gleam. The more you painted, the brighter he became. His big frown slowly turned upside down into a giant, happy grin. His light shone out across the whole night sky, warm and wonderful. "Thank you, Captain Evelyn," the happy moon boomed. To light your way home, he laid down a beautiful, shining path of moonbeams, just for your little cloud boat. You sailed that moonbeam path right back to your bed, my love. You snuggled under your covers, and the happy moon watched over you all night long as you dreamed the sweetest, most shimmery dreams. Fable for Sophia. The sun painted the sky in sleepy colors of orange and pink. But inside, Sophia, Leo the lion, and Timothy the tortoise were not sleepy at all. They were building the tallest block tower ever. 5 more minutes, little sleepyheads, said a gentle voice. It was Sophia's mommy, standing in the doorway with a warm smile. The moon is waiting to say hello. Leo the lion let out a tiny grumble, not a roar. Grumble. He nudged the block tower with his nose. He wanted to play just a little bit longer. But Timothy the tortoise gave a big, slow yawn. His playtime was all done. He slowly started to tuck his head into his cozy, safe shell. I know, said Sophia. It's time for a bedtime story. That will help us get ready for sweet dreams. She picked up their favorite book. Leo's ears perked up. He loved stories. He patted over and curled up right next to Sophia, his fluffy mane tickling her arm. Timothy peeked his head out of his shell, just enough to listen. He loved stories too. Sophia's voice was as soft as a lullaby. Sophia read about sleepy stars and a whispering wind. Soon, Leo's tiny grumble turned into a soft purr, and Timothy's head began to nod. Bed, my sleepy friends, Sophia whispered. Mommy came and helped tuck Leo into his grassy mat and made sure Timothy was snug in his shell. Then, Mommy tucked Sophia into her own cozy bed. Good night, my love, she whispered, giving her a kiss. The moon peeked through the window, watching over the 3 sleeping friends. Sweet dreams, everyone. Mia and the Whisperwood Secret. Once upon a time, in a cozy cottage bordered by a shimmering forest, lived a little girl named Mia. Mia had a special friend, a little blue songbird whose melodies filled her days with joy. But one morning, the bird's cage was empty and its sweet song was gone. A single shimmering tear rolled down Mia's cheek. Where has my little friend gone? She whispered to the wind. Mia knew she had to find her friend. She pulled on her little red cloak and stepped into the Whisperwood, a place of ancient trees and magical secrets. The trees hummed with a gentle energy, and the leaves crunched softly under her feet. Hello? She called out, her voice a small echo in the vast woods. Has anyone seen a little blue bird? Deeper in the woods, she came to a clearing. In the center stood the oldest tree of all, the Whisperwood tree. Its branches were gnarled and wise, and its leaves rustled with 1,000 stories. A kind, craggy face seemed to look down at her from the bark. Little one, the tree's voice was like the rustling of leaves. What troubles your heart? I've lost my songbird, Mia explained, her voice trembling. The Whisperwood tree nodded slowly. Ah, the gloom wisp has been here. It is a lonely creature that captures beautiful sounds, hoping to fill the quiet in its heart. Your friend is not far. The tree pointed a long, woody branch towards a misty hollow. You will find the gloom wisp there. It is not wicked, only sad. Do not fight it with anger. Instead, show it what it has forgotten. Can you show it happiness, little Mia? Mia followed the path into the hollow. The air grew cool and quiet. There, hovering over a patch of wilting flowers, was a small, shadowy creature made of swirling mist, the gloom wisp. In a cage of woven shadows, her little blue songbird sat silently. Please, Mia said softly, that is my friend. The gloom wisp turned its 2 glowing eyes towards her. It didn't speak, but a feeling of deep sadness washed over Mia. Instead of being scared, Mia remembered the tree's words. I will share my happiness with you, Mia declared. She closed her eyes and thought of her happiest memory, dancing in a field of sunflowers with her mother, laughing until her belly ached. As she thought of it, a warm, golden light began to glow from her heart. Can you think of your happiest memory too? The golden light touched the gloom wisp. The creature shivered, and for the first time it felt something other than sadness. It felt the warmth of Mia's joy. The shadow cage dissolved, and the little blue bird was free. It flew straight to Mia's shoulder, chirping a happy tune. The gloom wisp, now a tiny bright spark, zipped away, leaving the flowers in the hollow blooming once more. Mia, with her songbird perched happily on her shoulder, walked out of the Whisperwood. She had not only found her friend, but she had also learned that the best way to fight sadness is to share a little bit of happiness. Sophia's dreamy night parade. "Settle in, my little moonbeam," I whispered, tucking you in. "Tonight, the stars are putting on a parade just for you. All the sleepy constellations are getting ready to march across the sky." Your eyes grew wide, my sweet Sophia, imagining the show. As you drifted off, your bed began to float, my darling. It lifted right off the floor, becoming the most wonderful parade float, decorated with moonbeams and fluffy clouds, ready to join the sleepy procession. Your float drifted out the window and into the velvet night. But something was wrong. The parade route was quiet. You saw Leo the lion, the parade leader, yawning a great big, sparkly yawn. "We're too sleepy to march," he rumbled softly. Behind him, Ursa the little bear was curled into a starry ball, fast asleep. And Draco the dragon was trying to chase his own tail but kept nodding off. The night parade had come to a sleepy standstill. "They can't march if they're this tired," you whispered to your teddy bear. Then you had a brilliant idea, my clever girl. You remembered your little music box, the one that plays the sweetest lullaby. You opened the box, and the gentlest melody tinkled out into the quiet night. It wasn't a loud marching song, but a soft, dreamy tune, a lullaby march, perfect for a sleepy parade. Leo the lion heard the music, and his sleepy eyes opened. He stretched his starry paws and let out a soft, melodic roar that sounded just like the song. He began to march, his paws landing gently on clouds. The music woke Ursa the little bear, who uncurled and started to dance, swaying from side to side. Even sleepy Draco the dragon perked up, wiggling his long tail to the rhythm of your lullaby. And so you led them, my little parade master. You floated at the head of the line, your music box playing its sweet tune, as all the constellations marched and danced behind you in the most beautiful, dreamy night parade the sky had ever seen. You led them all the way to the edge of morning. Then your float drifted gently back through your window and settled on the floor. And when I peeked in, you were fast asleep, my Sophia, with a smile on your face, dreaming of the sleepy stars you had led through the night. Olivia and the Lost Moonbeam. Do you remember last night, my sweet Olivia? As you drifted off to sleep, your little bed transformed. It became a sturdy boat, and your patchwork quilt turned into a sail, ready to catch the sleepy time breeze. Your little boat didn't sail on water, my love. It floated down a river of dreams that sparkled and swirled, carrying you into a forest where the leaves on the trees glowed with soft, colorful light. Then you heard it, didn't you? A tiny, shimmery sound, like little bells crying. You steered your boat to the riverbank and found a little puddle of light trembling at the bottom of a giant, polka-dotted mushroom. "What's wrong?" you whispered. The little puddle of light looked up, and you saw it was a tiny moonbeam. "I was playing tag with my friends," he sniffled, "and I fell right off the moon. Now I can't get back up." You, my brave adventurer, patted his shimmery head. "Don't you worry," you said with a determined smile. "We'll get you home." You remembered the fireflies who danced in our garden and knew they could fly ever so high. You called their name, and they came in a blink, a whole cloud of them, twinkling and bright. They buzzed around you, their lights like 1,000 tiny lanterns, listening as you told them about the moonbeam's plight. The fireflies understood at once. They zipped and zoomed, weaving their light together. They created a beautiful shimmering basket, stronger than spiderwebs and softer than a feather, just for the little moonbeam. You carefully helped your new friend into the glowing basket. "Ready?" you asked. He gave a happy little wiggle, and the fireflies lifted him up, 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 like the most magical hot air balloon you've ever seen. You watched as they carried him past the glowing treetops, a tiny, brave passenger on his way home. He waved down at you, his light shining brightly, as he floated toward the big, smiling moon in the sky. Your boat sailed you gently back to your own bed, just as the sun began to peek through your window. You were my Olivia again, tucked in safe and sound, dreaming of your friend who now winks at you every night from the moon. Amelia's Starry Stitch. Do you remember my little Amelia? You were the captain of your cozy sheet ship, sailing the seas of sleepiness. Your mission was to dream of distant stars and planets no one had ever seen before. But then, through your spaceship's porthole, that's your window, silly, a little light appeared and disappeared. It wasn't a planet or a passing jet. It was a tiny, flickering star, and my brave explorer, you could tell it looked very sad. A silver thread of starlight, so thin and bright, zoomed right through your window. It landed gently on your patchwork quilt, creating a glowing pathway just for you, my darling. You didn't wait a single second, did you, my adventurous girl? You knew an adventure was calling. You hopped right onto that pathway, and with a great WH-osh, your pajamas transformed into the most beautiful, shimmering spacesuit. Up you floated, right out the window to explore the big night sky. You zipped past the sleepy rooftops and the tall, whispering trees. You were a brand new astronaut, my love, riding the starlight breeze. You followed the thread to the little star in distress. It flickered so sadly, a real proper mess. "I've got a boo-boo," it sputtered, its voice like tiny bells. I took a big tumble and cracked my light. And what did you do, my kind Amelia? You patted the star's pointy arm and said, "Don't you worry, I'll keep you from harm. Mommy fixed my teddy bear's seam with a stitch. We just need some moonlight to fix this little glitch." You spotted a moonbeam, all silvery white, and you lassoed it right out of the night. You rolled it and stretched it, a clever cosmic trick, and turned it into a needle and thread, so quick. You stitched up the crack with a perfect loop-de-la-loop, a sparkly, star-mending scoop. The star's light burst out in a happy, warm flash. "Hooray!" it buzzed with a thankful dash. The little star gave you a wink, a special thank you, and the light path zipped you right back to your room. You were tucked in your bed, my sweet girl, dreaming deep and so sound, with a new starry friend, the best one you've ever found. Thank you goodnights. In a room the color of sleepy lavender, a little girl named Isabella snuggled deep under her covers. A soft lamp glowed like a tiny private sun, and her best friend, a unicorn with a yarn mane, was tucked right beside her. The stars began to pop out in the dark blue sky, like spilled glitter. Isabella decided it was time to say her thank you goodnights. "Good night, twinkling stars," she whispered to the window. "Thank you for being my nightlights." She hugged her unicorn close. Its button eyes seemed to listen. "Good night, my brave friend," Isabella smiled. "Thank you for chasing away the shadows and making my dreams feel safe." Her eyes drifted to the bookshelf, packed with colorful adventures. "Good night, wonderful books," she sighed happily. "Thank you for all the magical places you take me without my feet ever leaving the floor." A fluffy teddy bear sat in a tiny rocking chair, watching over her. "Good night, fuzzy bear," she murmured. "Thank you for always listening to my biggest secrets and never telling a soul." The wind rattled the window just a little, like a soft lullaby. "Good night, whispering wind," she breathed. "Thank you for carrying my sleepy thoughts out into the quiet world." On her dresser, a vase of flowers drooped their sleepy heads. "Good night, pretty flowers," Isabella said. "Thank you for making my room smell so sweet and look so beautiful." The little clock on her wall ticked a steady rhythm. Tick-tock, tick-tock. "Good night, patient clock," she yawned, a big, wide yawn. "Thank you for counting the sleepy seconds until morning comes." Her eyelids felt as heavy as warm honey. She gave her unicorn one last squeeze and pulled the fluffy blanket up to her chin. "Good night, cozy room. Good night, dear world," she whispered to no one and everyone. And with a heart full of thanks, Isabella drifted off to sleep, ready for the brand new joys tomorrow would bring.